Good morning. Today is November 13th, and I call the Board of Appeals meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. I would ask a little personal message is when you folks come to the microphone, when it's an empty building, empty room here, the acoustics wreak havoc on my hearing aids. So if you could just speak up a little bit more, then it'll come. I don't want to miss anything, so I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, first order of business is approval of minutes. Oh, and by the way, we have a quorum, so we're open for business. Our chairperson, Cliff, is unavailable today, but we have a quorum, so we're going to go. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second? All in favor? All right. Our first order of business, our first variance request. Are they going to put it? Oh, here we go. First variance request is ZV-25-40, 150 Venture Drive variance. We're here to consider a request for a variance to the Glynn County Zoning Ordinance, Section 611, for reduction in the required parking from 204 spaces to 126 spaces. The property is zoned FC, Freeway Commercial District, and is located at 150 Venture Drive, Brunswick, Georgia, parcel 03-21106. Samuel Duncan, agent and applicant, 150 Venture LLC owners. Staff?
All right. Good morning. I'm Maurice Postal, Planning and Zoning. The applicant's requesting a variance to Section 611 of the zoning ordinance for reduction in required parking spaces from 204 spaces to 126. The applicant is currently requesting a change in zoning from its existing freeway commercial to high residential to allow for the conversion of the existing hotel into 102 multifamily rental units. The parking ratio being requested is 1.2 spaces per unit instead of the 2 spaces per residential unit required in HR zoning by the zoning ordinance. The property is approximately 3.64 acres and 35 units per acre would be allowed in the new HR zoning district. So under that density, 127 units could be allowed on the site, but 102 units are proposed. The property's current FC zoning requires the hotel to have 116 parking spaces, and there are 126 existing parking spaces on the site. The rezoning application was considered by the MPC on November 4th. The MPC recommended approval with the condition that prior to building permit issuance, the parking variance would be approved by the BOA. The BOC will hear the rezoning application next Thursday. This is a similar project and similar parking variance request to case ZV-2512, 3030 Scarlett Street, which was approved by the BOA at its regular meeting on May 8th. This is a zoning map showing the property on Venture Drive near the intersection of Perry Lane. This is what the current Coast Cottages and Suites looks like. This is a survey of the property. This is a site plan showing the existing 126 parking spaces. And these are prior projects that the applicant has done with other hotels, turning them into multifamily rental units. And we are recommending approval of the application subject to the BOC's approval of the rezoning application next Thursday.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for staff?
Nope.
And the applicant is here today if you'd like to ask him any questions.
Thank you. All right. So could we hear from the applicant? If you'd state your name, please.
Yeah, I'm Keshav.
Who?
Keshav Pandiri. So Samuel is not available today. He's out of the country. So I'm here. I'm the development manager on the project. So I'll be the one who would be running this project.
Okay, you're on.
Yeah, cool. So kind of high level, our business is primarily taking these underutilized hotels, extended stays, and turning them into micro apartments. Usually we're targeting something, pretty nice. We put in a pretty comprehensive renovation package, both interior and exterior, and we have a meaningful amount of dollars budgeted at this project too. So this one has 50 studio apartments, or it would have 50 studios, and then 52 one-bedrooms. And the average unit size would be 400 square feet. We haven't had any issues with this number of parking spaces before. Most of the properties that we convert tend to have between 1 and 1.5, I'd say, parking spaces per unit. But in general, I would say that you have pretty good utilization at about 1 parking space per unit. I think at 1.26, this would be very comfortable.
All right.
How does this compare to the other projects?
In terms of the parking, or?
Exactly.
I think that I would say this has more parking than the other projects. So we're doing another project right now in Savannah, and that one has 101 units and it has 96 parking spaces.
What's the ratio?
That's 0.96 per unit. But since it's in the city, I think they're more comfortable with
It's in
some
what?
walkability
in
and
the
stuff
city?
like that. Huh?
It's in the city, you say?
Yeah, it's in Midtown Savannah, right next to the mall.
Any other questions down here?
How many studio and one bedroom are there? What's the breakdown?
Yeah, it's 52 one-bedrooms and then 50 studios. 102 units total.
And what's the total number of parking spaces that's left?
126.
126.
So in that 126, do you accommodate for visitor parking and also ADA parking?
Yeah, so we would have striped ADA in the parking lot, and then visitor would be part of that 126. But like I mentioned, we haven't had any issues with that parking ratio in the past. Most of the conversion projects tend to have, usually single occupants. And for this project, we'd be targeting primarily, I'd say, FLETC or any workers who are primarily tourism focused. So it would largely be single residents, most likely very few double occupancy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was the only question I had about this project, was about the occupancy. So, I think you answered that. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Does the amount of units that you're putting in here, does that change the amount of hotel rooms that were here?
No, it's a one-to-one, exactly the same.
Okay.
Anything else for the applicant?
No, sir.
I think I got one for staff,
All right.
but we'll get to that later.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Well,
Oh,
you said you wanted to ask the staff.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
No. I think,
Okay, how does this compare to the one that we approved in May?
The one in May was 1.1 spaces per unit, and this is 1.26, like he mentioned.
Okay, all right. That was my question.
thank you. Is there any public comment for or against? All right. Seeing none, hearing none. Gentlemen? pleasure.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve ZV 25-40, 150 Venture Drive, as stated.
All right. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Sir, you have it. Thank you for presentation. Okay, moving on. Our next variance request, ZV-25-40, Oh, no, my mistake, sorry. ZV-25-41, 732 Ocean Boulevard on St. Simons. Consider a request for a variance to the Glynn County zoning ordinance, section 705, to bring an existing non-conforming structure into compliance. The property is zoned RR, Resort Residential, and is located at 732 Ocean Boulevard, St. Simons Island, Georgia, parcel 04-04782. Bernard Swafford, applicant and agent, Robert and Shannon Schurer, owners. Staff?
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning, Nisi Carroll. The applicant is requesting a variance to the Glenn County zoning ordinance, section 705, to bring the existing non-conforming structure into compliance. As outlined in R. Bowie 25772, the applicant is also requesting to modify the existing kitchen and add an additional bedroom and bath. The proposed additions are within the setbacks. The homeowner has indicated the proposed renovations are due to a medical hardship. According to Q Public, the home was constructed in 1924. The site is in the Resort Residential Zoning District. The setbacks for this lot are the front, which is 9th Street, 20 feet, right, Ocean Boulevard is 10 feet, left 7, and rear 7. Additionally, per section 705 of the zoning ordinance, the site coverage in Resort Residential shall not exceed 50% of the development area. According to files submitted for the R. Bowie, existing and proposed site coverage is listed at 49.28%. However, it appears that the hardscape areas were not included in this calculation. And this is the site coverage calculation. By definition in our ordinance, the percentage of development area covered by the ground floor area of buildings and structures, parking, driveways, walkways, pools, patios, decks, mechanical equipment, and other similar improvements, whether permeable or impermeable to water. Here is the site. Here is a survey from 2017 that was initially submitted. And this is the survey zoomed in. The homeowner did submit an updated survey on Monday evening, I believe. So this is it? This is it. All right, and here are the measurements. On the rear, we measured at 2 feet, ½ inch. On the Ocean Boulevard side, we have 2 feet, 5 inch. And front, from the front porch, 10 feet. Here is the site plan. This is existing. And these are pictures. Staff does recommend approval to bring the existing structure into conformity, but deny the proposed renovations only until site coverage issues are remediated.
Well, can we approve something that's beyond the property line?
Excuse, say it one more
How
time.
can we approve when a building is set beyond the property line?
It's not beyond the property line, it's beyond the setbacks. So the property,
Looks like that carport sticks out beyond the property line.
the who?
There's a carport, and on one of the surveys, there's another building, I thought, I saw. Maybe that's the next door property. It's not shown on here.
This one?
Yeah. Okay,
I think that's
utility-
the
That's somebody
adjacent.
else's utility building, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
But, how can we approve, I mean, that carport looks like it sticks out beyond the property line. Am I wrong about that?
It looks that way on this one, to me. You can place a condition on it that they adjust it to be on their property only. I mean, that is the public right of way, so
Right. Okay.
You all set?
Yeah.
Any other questions, staff?
No, I have none.
It wouldn't be up to us to make them get the reduce the carport to be within the property, the county would have to,
I can defer that. John, would you be able to answer that one? He said the
'Cause that-
carport,
the carport, it does appear so. Nobody told you to turn your ringer on? Turn your ringer on.
Turn it off.
But the carport does appear, it looks like it's, I'd say, several feet over the property line, wouldn't you, AJ?
Yes, I will.
let's look at the picture.
And
Over
it's a
the
per- it's
property
a little
line.
pergola looking.
I mean, we can address that with the applicant.
Okay. Any more questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Can we hear from the applicant or representative? Please state your name and you're on.
Say my name and, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the other part. I didn't hear what else you asked. State my name
Please
and,
state your name, yes. And I said then, and floor is yours.
I have bad hearing too, so
All
you
right.
have to forgive me, sir. My name is Robert Scherer. My wife and I are the homeowners. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I was recently diagnosed with and am currently receiving ongoing treatment for multiple myeloma, which is a terminal cancer with a 5-year survival rate of 58%. At a high level, we're seeking approval to renovate and expand this property, which was built in the 1920s to better accommodate my palliative care needs. You have in your packet our neighbors' written approvals, including the areas that you've seen on the screen. You've already covered the key changes. Today, we're requesting approval of not only that, the variance that described, but also that it's I believe it also is currently a substandard lot of record. The lot is 5,000 square feet. I know that the rules are changed, or the new rules, only 4,500 square feet are required, but the current rules are 6,000. So we are also seeking the variance for that rule. As it relates to the carport itself, if the county were to make it contingent upon us, I guess, cutting back the carport to fit wholly on the property, I think that is certainly something that we would entertain. As it relates to the paver patio, the last thing, the existing pool and paver patio may present an additional challenge in regard to site coverage calculation. Should this be an additional concern and not something that we can positively resolve today, we are respectfully requesting a conditional permit approval subject to 3 potential conditions. One is that we apply for a separate site coverage variance given the undue hardship and challenge that navigating a wheelchair around an unpaved pool area would create, with the understanding, of course, that we know there would be an additional fee notification and variance process that would have to be followed. The second point about the pool paver patio is that approval of the new rezoning ordinance draft identifies a 60% site coverage for resort residential, which would allow us to obviously keep more of the existing pool patio, which we would like to do rather than pay to remove it and potentially pay to put a vast majority of it back. And lastly, strict adherence to the current 50% rule could in fact be achieved by actually removing the entire paver pool patio and front walkway entrance. Whatever the path forward is, we're asking you to consider, we're asking you to consider the potential difficulty of being wheelchair bound, but having an unpaved pool deck. The unclear, fast-moving timeline for the progression of my disease, and how easy it'll be to remove simple patio pavers, which are literally sitting on a bed of gravel and sand, and the undue hardship that waiting for a second variance or new zoning ordinance would create for someone who already has a shorter runway than most. We want you to know that you're working with a compliant citizen neighbor who's respectful of your time processes and ultimate decisions. And I want to thank you for your consideration. If you need additional information, I have with me today copies of my builder, my architect, copies of my diagnosis, the signed neighbor approval forms, the lot layout showing how the home currently sits on the lot, which you've seen, the existing and future home plans, photos of the exterior and interior of the house, and highlighting the many challenges that the current interior presents, and copies of the relevant sections of your current and proposed zoning ordinance rules. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks,
If you can remain, we have questions for you, but before,
I got a question.
yeah, hold on one second, please. I just want you to understand, sir, with empathy and respect from us up here, with empathy and respect for what you're facing in life from us up here, we recognize that and we want you to understand. However, there may be some questions that will be hard questions that have to be asked.
I understand.
Based on, we have a responsibility to the taxpayers of Glynn County and the ordinances. So
Yes, sir, I understand.
Please, yes, sir, thank you. AJ?
Oh, yeah, the pavers here, are they permeable? I don't know if your builder or your architect. may know.
I honestly am not a paver expert, but I don't believe so. They were just we just
Well, you mentioned
requested.
they're on a bed of gravel, which leads me to believe they may be.
Pardon?
You mentioned they were on a bed of gravel, which leads me to believe they may be.
The way we read the definition in the zoning ordinance, it actually said pool and pavers count against you, whether they're permeable or impermeable. So we did not prepare
Well,
to
Sea
address
Island-
that today.
I know Sea Island allows for a 50% coverage rate. I don't know about the county. I'm gonna have to ask the county about that.
If we had to replace the pool pavers with permeable ones, we would and that were the condition for permanent approval, we would certainly work towards that as well, if they're not permeable already.
And it looks kind of like the pavers extend over the property line here at the, I guess it's the south property line.
Show me maybe which
Well, where
area?
it says south, when it gives the meets and bounds of that property line, you can see where the pavers extend beyond the property line.
They extend into to the street, those are not the, are you talking about the pool pavers or the parking pavers?
We can go back to that that site plan we were just looking at. The one that was on there.
Keep going. No, the one that has right there.
That one there.
Yeah.
Sir, he's referring to the bottom left. When you look up on the screen, you see the numbers S, 82 degree, 52.
Oh, yes, sir. We own that property, and we have similar pavers on that property. Those are our pavers, but they're for a separate property that we own. Yes, sir.
That clears it up.
They're not the same. Well,
Well,
I guess
if
they
that's your
are the
property,
same, but
it'll
they're
make a
not.
difference.
Pardon me?
I said, if that's your property, then it clears it up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions of the applicant?
I don't.
I have, excuse me, I have one that's concerning drainage off of your property. How is the drainage during a heavy rain? Are you having any issues with drainage at all?
No issues whatsoever, sir.
Is your water going, encroaching on the neighbors is really my only concern.
Not to my knowledge, and not that anyone has ever complained to us about.
Okay.
Sir, since you began your presentation addressing your medical needs, I have a question for you in terms of, while it's not directly in our purview, but it's part of your conversation, so I need to ask you back. Can you share with me about your anticipation of becoming wheelchair-bound?
Sure. If you're familiar with, I have multiple myeloma. If you're familiar
Yes,
with that
sir.
disease, basically the cancer stimulates the destruction of bone, and it retards or stops the creation of new bone. It's relentless. I have received chemotherapy, I have received radiation, and I have undergone a bone marrow transplant. All of the above is simply a delaying tactic that cancer overcomes those things. And it basically creates Swiss cheese holes in your bones. For whatever the reason, I don't know that I can give you the clinical reason, it likes to attack your spine among the bones, and that's the bones that it has attacked the most. I currently have a 7-centimeter hole in my spine. That is the size of a tennis ball or wiffle ball. So as the cancer progresses and continues to come back, it's going to most likely continue to attack the bones in my spine. And it's most likely going to make me wheelchair bound.
Do you have mobility limitations now? Do you have mobility limitations now in your home?
I 100% have a lot of problems now. I have problems moving, I have problems sitting, I have a cushion with me on your cushioned seats to make seating a little more comfortable. I'm already experiencing some problems of this disease. It was much worse prior to my chemo and radiation and bone marrow transplant, but it is still very painful and it's still problematic today, and it's going to get worse again.
And the reason I'm asking you, sir, is that I understand everything. My concern
Yes, sir.
is how imminent the situation is for you. I want to be very, very cognizant of that, because why now? Why are you coming now? And really the bottom line for me is, if we're to vote yes, affirm your request for a variance on a future health situation, then I think we are setting a dangerous precedent in our county. And I would use myself as an example where I have a situation where I hope that it doesn't progress, but in the future, I could see myself coming into being wheelchair bound. So to come before the committee now without any imminent need and say, I need this for the future, I'd like a variance to do this or this or this to my house, that's kind of like that's given me the pause, and that's why I'm asking these questions, so you can help me kind of sort through it. And I appreciate you taking the questions and answering. But that's kind of like where I'm coming from with this idea of a precedent setting. That's all.
Yeah, I think I understand your question.
Thank you.
I told you I own the property next to it. It's a two-story home that I rarely am able to go upstairs in anymore because it's too hard for me to walk up that many stairs.
Okay.
So I'm not here, and I have multiple myeloma. You can
Yep.
look up the disease. You can see that
Oh, no,
it is
believe me, no,
terminal
that's-
and relentless, and there is no cure. So I'm not asking you for about something that might be a future, it's a 5% or 10% probability in the future. This certainly is in my future. I'm trying to, as you can imagine, navigate a very challenging situation with my wife, my daughter. And
That's good, thank you, I
and
appreciate
her-
it. Yeah.
And may I finish?
Okay.
And her, we don't know if we're gonna be able to keep
All right, so my last
one or
question.
both of these properties.
Say it again, please.
Because I have terminal cancer, and we're about to go to it's gonna go to one income. So I'm trying to set my wife up. I'm trying to manage this.
And I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Okay, move away from that. Let me ask you about, you said that you would entertain removing that part of the carport that my colleagues asked you about. Can you say more than entertain, that you would in fact remove that part of the carport that exceeds your property?
If your approval today is conditional upon us cutting back the carport to fit entirely on our property, yes, sir. I
Thank
can
you. Okay.
confirm that we will make that happen.
Thank you. And like I said in the beginning, with all empathy and respect, I wanted to ask you the questions, and I appreciate you answering. Thank you very much.
I appreciate your
Yes, sir.
consideration.
Anything else?
Nope.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak for or against? All right. Gentlemen? Entertain a
I'd like to ask the staff,
staff, yes?
how much is he over in the site coverage? He said that it's getting ready to change to 60%.
Staff will have to go back and recalculate it. The site.
Do you not give a credit for permeable paving?
So by definition, permeable and impermeable to water is included in the site coverage calculation. So it doesn't matter either way, they're both
They
included.
both count as
Correct,
site, the
Correct.
same amount of coverage?
correct.
So, considering the new, he said 6,000, was it 60% coverage, is that what the new
So
regulation is?
the zoning has not been adopted yet. Had it been adopted, then we could say for sure, but we've been working on the ordinance for a number of years, so
I know.
it's hard to give a final on that. What I will say is,
Well, it looks like it's right at, 49%.
but the pavers are not included, but
Oh, the pavers not
the
included.
additions are included in the site coverage and are within the setbacks. It's just the pavers that are missing,
Pavers are not included in this site coverage.
not at all. Well, it does not appear that way,
Oh, you didn't prepare this?
appear.
Oh,
The-
you didn't prepare this site coverage?
I did not, it was prepared by, Mr. Markowski.
Okay.
So I would say he's probably 80% site coverage if you put the pavers in the equation.
I would have to calculate numbers, I would have to go back and calculate numbers.
Maybe Darby, you want to talk to him?
Excuse me. I believe our architect has done a calculation on the existing paper.
Can we talk to Darby?
Hi, I am Darby McCloskey, registered architect for Bob. Yes, I did include the pavers in a previous drawing after a meeting with Niche. The pavers are approximately 1,000 square feet.
That puts you up in the 75% neighborhood, doesn't it?
If you would add the 1,000 square feet to the 2423 shown on the screen, you would get 3423, and your assumption is close to correct. I don't have a calculator on me, but I could do it real quick.
I don't think there's a need.
That's not necessary.
71.
That's not necessarily it'll exceed the 50%.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's 50% now. But, you know, he needs the pavement to wheel around the
That's correct.
pool. I mean, there may be some that can be taken out. I mean, that looks like to me, could you see the floor plan?
Can we also consider, the homeowner is willing to remove carport? Not the whole carport, but a portion of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we,
So that goes into, that's a small reduction.
yeah, that doesn't help with site coverage.
Can you mention the pool? Yeah.
Floor plan
This is kind of out of the box, and I don't want to aggravate anybody here. But the swimming pool itself doesn't shed water, okay? The ordinance was basically set up to keep other property owners from getting the water from an adjacent piece of property. You got it? So site coverage of 50%, and above that, the water starts moving towards the roads, it starts moving towards other people's properties. That's kind of the issue. We have 340 square feet in a swimming pool that holds water. It's not going to shed water. The ordinance suggests that pools be calculated in the permeable area. What I would like to do is delete the pool, which is roughly 340 square feet from the calculation. And that would give us a substantial amount of square feet to mitigate it down towards that 60%, which is the proposed ordinance.
So in a heavy rain, when that pool fills up, where does that water go?
Generally speaking, a pool has about 6 to 4 inches.
That wasn't the question. When, in a heavy rain, when that pool fills up and it gets to the overflow, where does that water go?
If we were to get a 1 inch per hour, 500-year rain that would fill up the pool 4 to 6 inches, it would shed to the pavers. And I think we've only had like 3 of those in the last 25 years.
I know, I've had friends that have pools and heavy rains, their pool does fill up and overflow. I mean, and it's
It
not
does.
uncommon.
You're correct.
I mean, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but it's,
You're
you got good
absolutely-
calculations, but they do overflow.
They certainly do. You're absolutely correct.
And I would just add, I appreciate you sharing that information, but you mentioned about use 60% proposed, but it's only proposed, so we're still working with 50%. We're not working with 60%, sir, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Can we approve the building so they can go ahead with that? Do we have any problem with that? And maybe, like you said, so the site coverage to another meeting?
That's more of a staff question. I think if that's,
That's what we're proposing.
Okay.
That you go ahead. That's what staff is proposing, that you go ahead and bring the existing structure, the house, into conformity. I did speak with the homeowner, and he is aware, if you grant that approval, we'll have to come back for a site coverage variance.
I mean, I'm good with that.
me too.
Okay?
Well, I like to make,
Can you advance the screen for
Sure.
motion here? Thank you, Dory. You're welcome. Darby and staff. Okay, any other discussion? Seems like we're good. Okay. Can I have a motion?
yeah, I'd like to make a motion that,
It's right there at the bottom. You see it off your screen?
You got to read that, AJ.
I am.
Aloud.
Move to approve ZV-25-41 to bring the existing structure into conformity but deny proposed renovations until site coverage issues are remediated.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
So, who? So,
I hear some
Bef-
hubbub out there.
Any further discussion?
Question, so this may be more for building, but I think the homeowner is asking
To proceed with the addition.
to proceed with the addition, since we know they are willing to apply for another variance for site coverage calculation, but can they proceed with the building?
Yeah, well, I intended that to be included, so I need to say, existing structure and additions to the building into,
All right, hold on one second, hold on one second. We have a motion, it's been seconded, so
So you,
there's no more discussion on that motion, so we need to then deny that motion
you would need to.
and then
rescind
come
it.
again for another one
Correct.
to take into account what we're talking about. So, we have a first, it's been seconded. All in favor?
No,
I thought we had to redact
All against?
against that, so
hold
So
on.
we're denying this.
we'll make another motion.
Right, so, right. So, the motion for ZV-25-41 to bring the existing structure into conformity, but deny proposed renovations until site coverage issues are remediated, has been denied. So now, open for discussion.
I want to reword
Ma'am?
Okay.
I want to reword the motion and say, I move to approve DV-25-41 to bring the existing structure into conformity and allow for the additions, but deny until, well, just a second here. Into conformity and approve the renovations, but not the site coverage.
Until the site coverage. So they'll come back in January for another variance for site coverage request to exceed that 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, but we'll just have the same issues in January. That's-
All right, hold on, all right, so you made a motion, is there a second? Hearing no second. If this doesn't carry, let's go back to discussion.
We need to clarify.
That's right.
The motion.
Okay. So the motion hasn't been seconded. So,
Nothing's gonna change on the, I mean, I don't see, he's gonna have if you take up 200 square foot of pavers, I mean, it's not gonna get you in conformity, and that's a small lot. He does have a medical hardship with a wheelchair. I mean, in January, the site cover, I guess what I'm getting, I think we need to.
Nothing's gonna change.
I think nothing's gonna change. We either need to deny it altogether or approve it altogether as we're here now.
Let's approve it.
I agree. So
All right.
you make the motion.
I make the motion to approve ZV-25-41 as presented.
all right.
Hold on, wait,
Is there
wait
a-
1 second, hold on,
You got a troublemaker?
go ahead.
I'll second.
What, can you repeat the motion first before,
I move to approve ZV-25-41 as presented.
as presented?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
All
Anyone here? Anyone? Okay.
those in favor?
All in favor? Okay,
There you go.
done.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Any other business? Hearing none? Meeting's adjourned.